channel. In today's video, as you'll see by the title, I'm going to be talking about my worst Amazon purchases. Back in May, June time, I filmed a video of my top 20 best purchases, and so I thought today I would film my worst. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, and let's get into it. Okay, so I'm just setting up my laptop here because I am going to put screenshots on the screen because I'm going to be honest, most of these things I threw away and I no longer have. Some of them are because I purchased them and actually we've never used it. So it could be a good product, but it was an unnecessary purchase. So that's why I've put it down as my worst Amazon buys, because even though it's not necessarily a bad product, it was a worse purchase from my point of view because we never use it. So that's kind of the vibe we're going with. So the first thing I'm going to start with is these lights. I'm going to pop it up here. Now, most of the reviews for this were using in wardrobes. They were being used as motion sensor lights. So if you open the cupboard or something, the light would come on. That was kind of the vibe that these were for. Now, I purchased these to go in the shed because I have 2 guinea pigs and they live in our shed. The reason I didn't like these is because they were not as bright as I wanted them to be. They were really, really dim. They also were nowhere near as big as I needed them to be, so they didn't actually light up that much space. It was only a very small amount. They also automatically turned off no matter what I did, no matter what settings I put on them. They turned themselves off. They didn't stay on all the time. The battery was really bad on them as well, so I was constantly having to charge them. Anyway, they are actually still in the shed because I haven't taken them down, but I have never used them since. I actually got a refund. I easily am going to chuck them in the bin when we move house. The next one is, I will pop on the screen now. This is some vitamin C. Now, when I first got the guinea pigs and when Truffle got ill, I wanted to give him some vitamin C just to boost his health and make sure that I'm giving him as much as I can. And I ordered this vitamin C first before I ordered the one that I currently use. And it's meant to be really good, but the guinea pigs would not have it. It was disgusting. I then tried it because it is actually for humans, but I tried it and it tasted so bad, and I was like, no wonder the guinea pigs won't go near it. The next item I got, I will pop on the screen here. I got some of these towels just because I use towel and fleece for my guinea pig's cage. So I wanted to get lots and lots of towels so that I had lots of towels available, and that is what is in this kind of basket here, is all the guinea pig bedding. And the reason I have put this as my worst buy is because it was expensive for the fact that it was 4 towels. I could have got cheaper ones so somewhere else. The product itself is really good and I would highly recommend the product, but for the use that I wanted it for, I was really annoyed that I spent £15 on 4 towels just to go in my guinea pig cage, and I knew that I could have got them somewhere else. I still use them, but they were a lot more expensive than I wanted to spend on towels for the guinea pigs, so I do regret that purchase. If I was purchasing them for Josh and I to use, they would have been a great purchase. There's nothing wrong with the product itself. This was just my fault. It was my worst buy. I shouldn't have done it, and it was a regret. The next one is also guinea pig related, and this is the fleecy blankets. I will pop a picture of them here. Now, they are currently in their cage right this second. I literally cleaned the guinea pigs out this morning and have put these blankets in. But the reason they're in my worst buys is because the size of them for what I wanted them for is not ideal. And after I purchased these, they were about £12 for 3, I think. Yeah, £12 for 3, and I bought 6, so I spent £24 on these blankets. And a couple of weekends later, I went into a pet shop and they had small blankets about this by about this that were perfect for the cage. They slotted in 4 in a row perfectly fine, and they were £1 each. So I managed to get 20 of them for 20 quid, and these were £24 for 6, and they are completely not the right size or shape. I hate using them in the cage. So this is not a downside on the product. This is just, again, my bad purchasing and a regret that I made. The next thing is these ironing mats or cloths. I think they're called iron pressing cloths. And these were £3.30, and I bought 2 of them. So I spent £7 on these. And the reason I bought them is because my husband Josh had these new shirts that he'd got from Primark. They were really, really cheap, but they were really good quality. They were cotton and he loved them and he wanted me to iron them when I washed them. So we didn't actually have an iron or an ironing board or anything to iron at that moment in time because I've never ironed anything since we've been married. He found these online and he really wanted me to use them to kind of protect the fabric. But when I first used it, it was so inconvenient. It didn't make a difference. If I turned the iron down, it would have been just as safe than me using these. So I put them back in the wrapper and I sent them back to Amazon because I was like, this is a waste of time. I do not need to use these and faff about with this tiny little patch on each part of my shirt. Like, no, I was not interested in that. And actually, I haven't ironed them since, so it was a complete waste of money and time, but I got the money back because I sent them back this time, so that was an upside. The next one is again on the same theme, is the ironing board we got. Now, I am not dissing the ironing board at all whatsoever. I'm not dissing it. It's a good ironing board. I'm absolutely sure it would be perfectly fine for someone who was ironing regularly. The reason this is in my worst buys is because I do not iron clothes at all. I don't iron anything. So we now have an ironing board in our cupboard that I never use, that's taking up space, that we paid £35 for, and I probably will never use it again. I think I've used it once since we bought it, that's it. So I highly regret that purchase and I wish I never got it. The next product I will put on the screen. I actually use this every time I bake, but the reason I've put this in is because I wish I spent more and got a better one. So this is £22. I'm not sure if that's what I paid for it when I bought it. I did buy it a while ago, so it might not be that cost now. But at the time I was like, this is a great deal, 20 quid, I need a new one. My one had completely broken and it was making a horrible noise and a burning smell every time I used it. So I was like, okay, I need a new one. And I wish that I spent more money and got a better one because I hate using this mixer. I feel like it's really heavy. I'm having to like move it more. I can't just kind of hold it and let it do its job. I feel like I need to give it a lot more work, which is not great for my wrists at the minute. So I wish I spent more and got a better one. So that is why it's a worse purchase. The next one, I'll pop a picture of it here, but when I went onto Amazon to screenshot all of my worst buys, this is actually not available anymore. And I don't know if that's because it was crap or if that's because it's sold out and they're not available, but I hated this product. So I don't know if you saw all the ads on Instagram and Facebook of this phone charger or this like phone holder / charger for the car, where you put your phone in it and it magnetically holds your phone in place and it also wirelessly charges it as well. I saw it and thought, oh my gosh, I really want one of them. But the one that I was advertised was 70 quid and I was like, I'm not going to spend 70 quid on a phone charger for my car. So I ended up buying this one as a cheaper version, and honestly, was it a cheaper version? It was so crap. It kept losing its grip and dropping my phone out. It kept like leaning down when I was trying to use it for a sat nav, so it was at an angle all the time. I did not get on well with it at all, and I ended up throwing it in the bin. Okay, so the next purchase, which I think we're coming towards the end, we're nearly done, guys. The next purchase is a kind of organizer for a bathroom, like just to hang over the door. And it has like lots of different pockets in it that you can put stuff in. Now I got this when we lived at our flat before we moved to our house here, and we didn't have much storage in the bathroom, so I needed something that I could put everything in. But it lost its shape instantly. It would sag out because of how much I was putting in it. It looked really, really ugly on the end of the door. It would like bang when you opened and closed the door. I really didn't like it. It was a practical solution, but as soon as we moved here, I chucked it away because I hated it so much. And I wish I spent a little bit more money and got a better quality one. This was £16, so it definitely wasn't cheap for what it was. But I definitely think if I spent a little bit more, I could have got a way better one. My final purchase, which you probably will have seen loads of these everywhere you go with like storage solutions, but I will pop a picture of it here, and it is these like under cupboard or in cupboard storage racks. So you basically slide them onto either the bottom of the cupboard or on a shelf in the cupboard, and you can like put things underneath. Now, I bought these a very long time ago. I bought them when Josh and I first got married and we first got our first place, and these did not fit into the cupboard at all. They did not fit. I don't remember if I sent them back or if I threw them away. All I remember is that it didn't work. It didn't fit in the cupboards that I have. I don't know if the cupboards were specifically narrow or if they were specifically short and that it just didn't work. I have no idea, but it did not fulfill the purpose that I wanted it for. So that is all of my Amazon purchases that I regretted, my biggest regrets. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you did. And I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye guys.